1. When applying Knowles' andragogy principles, which characteristic is most essential for adult learner engagement? A. Dependence on instructor guidance. B. Self-directed learning and autonomy. C. Future-oriented subject matter only. D. Extrinsic motivation through rewards. Which evaluation method provides the most comprehensive assessment of a trainee's competency development over time? A. Single summative assessment at program end. B. Continuous formative and summative assessments. C. Peer evaluation exclusively. D. Self-assessment only. 3. In curriculum development, what is the primary purpose of conducting a needs assessment? A. To determine the instructor's teaching preferences. B. To identify gaps between current and desired performance. C. To establish the program's marketing strategy. D. To select the most affordable training materials. 4. Which communication technique is most effective when providing corrective feedback to an adult learner? A. Public criticism to encourage accountability. B. Delayed feedback after task completion. C. Specific, timely, and behavior-focused feedback. D. General praise without specific examples. 5. Under OSHA regulations, how frequently must forklift operators receive refresher training and evaluation? Annually. Every 2 years. C. At least once every 3 years. D. Only when an incident occurs. 6. What is the best mentoring approach when a trainee demonstrates resistance to learning new procedures? A. Immediately report the trainee to management. B. Explore underlying concerns and provide rationale for changes. C. Skip the procedure and move to easier content. D. Threaten consequences for non-compliance. 7. Which documentation practice is most critical when a trainee fails to achieve minimum competency standards after multiple attempts? A. Verbal warning to the trainee only. B. Detailed records of training attempts, interventions, and performance results. C. Brief note in personnel file. D. Email notification to HR department. 8. Which adult learning principle explains why experienced workers may initially resist new training methods? A. Adults have accumulated life experiences that shape learning. B. Adults prefer theoretical over practical knowledge. C. Adults lack motivation for professional development. D. Adults cannot learn new skills after age 40. 9. What is the primary purpose of a pretest in a training program? A. To determine final grades. B. To assess baseline knowledge and tailor instruction. C. To eliminate poorly prepared participants. D. To fulfill regulatory documentation requirements only. 10. In competency-based training, what does mastery learning require? A. Completing all modules within a fixed time frame. B. Achieving predetermined proficiency standards before progression. C. Attending all scheduled training sessions. D. Passing a written test with 70% accuracy. 11. Which method is most effective for evaluating hands-on skill proficiency? A. Written examination only. Oral questioning. C. Direct observation with performance checklist. D. Self-reported competency survey. 12. When designing curriculum for diverse learners, what principle should guide content delivery? A. Use only one teaching method for consistency. B. Incorporate multiple instructional strategies and formats. C. Focus exclusively on visual learners. D. Require all learners to adapt to instructor's style. 13. What is the most critical element of effective workplace mentoring? A. Maintaining professional distance at all times. B. Building trust and establishing open communication. C. Demonstrating superior knowledge constantly. D. Providing solutions without trainee input. 14. According to regulatory compliance standards, what must be documented for each training session? A. Only attendance records. B. Attendance, content covered, and performance assessments. C. Trainer's personal observations only. D. Equipment used during training. 15. Which questioning technique encourages critical thinking in adult learners? A. Yes/no questions exclusively. B. Leading questions with obvious answers. C. Open-ended questions requiring analysis. D. Rhetorical questions requiring no response. 16. What is the primary benefit of using scenario-based learning in safety training? A. Reduces training time significantly. B. Eliminates need for hands-on practice. C. Allows application of knowledge in realistic contexts. D. Requires minimal instructor preparation. 17. When a trainee consistently fails to meet performance standards, what should the trainer do first? A. Recommend immediate termination. Analyze potential barriers and adjust instruction. C. Lower the performance standards. D. Assign additional written homework. 18. What is the primary purpose of using the teach-back method in adult training? A. To save time during instruction. B. To verify learner understanding by having them explain concepts back. C. To reduce trainer workload. D. To fulfill documentation requirements. 19. In curriculum development, what is the purpose of task analysis? A. To determine employee salary requirements. B. To break complex skills into teachable components. C. To evaluate trainer qualifications. To establish company policies. 20. What is the most appropriate response when an adult learner challenges the trainer's expertise? A. Assert authority and dismiss the challenge. B. Acknowledge the question and provide evidence-based response. C. Ignore the challenge and continue teaching. D. Ask the learner to leave the session. 21. Which assessment method provides the best evidence of transfer of learning to the workplace? A. Written test scores immediately after training. B. On-the-job performance observation weeks after training. C. Training attendance records. D. Self-assessment surveys during training. 22. When adapting curriculum for learners with varying literacy levels, what strategy is most effective? A. Use complex technical jargon consistently. B. Incorporate visual aids, demonstrations, and simplified language. C. Provide only written materials. D. Separate learners by literacy level permanently. 23. What is the primary purpose of establishing learning objectives before developing training content? A. To impress management with documentation. B. To guide instructional design and assessment creation. C. To meet minimum regulatory requirements. D. To determine training room setup. 24. Which mentoring behavior best supports adult learner confidence development? A. Completing tasks for the trainee to ensure quality. B. Providing encouragement and recognizing incremental progress. C. Pointing out all mistakes immediately. D. Comparing trainee to more experienced workers. 25. Under DOT regulations, what must be included in driver qualification files? A. Only the driver's license copy. B. Medical examinations, driving record, and training certificates. Personal references only. D. Salary information. 26. What is the most effective way to assess whether learning objectives have been met? A. Trainer's subjective opinion. B. Alignment between objectives and assessment measures. C. Trainee satisfaction surveys only. D. Time spent in training. When providing demonstration-based instruction, what sequence is most effective? Tell, show, do, review. B. Do, tell, show, review. C. U, tell, show. D. Show, review, tell, do. 28. Which factor is most important when selecting training evaluation methods? A. Ease of administration for the trainer. B. Alignment with learning objectives and job requirements. C. Popularity among trainees. D. Lowest cost option available. 29. What is the primary advantage of using competency checklists in skills training? A. Reduces training documentation requirements. B. Provides objective, standardized performance assessment. C. Eliminates need for verbal feedback. D. Speeds up the training process. 30. When an adult learner expresses anxiety about performance assessment, what approach is most supportive? A. Minimize the importance of the assessment. B. Clarify expectations, provide practice opportunities, and offer support. C. Tell the learner anxiety is unprofessional. D. Postpone assessment indefinitely. 31. Which curriculum design model emphasizes continuous improvement through feedback loops? A. Linear design model. B. ADDIE model, analysis, design, development, implementation, evaluation. C. Lecture-based model. D. Trial and error model. 32. What is the best practice for documenting training when regulatory compliance is required? A. Verbal confirmation only. B. Detailed records including dates, content, assessments, and signatures. C. Email notification to HR department. D. Trainer's personal notes. 33. In adult learning, what does readiness to learn primarily depend on? Age and education level only. Perceived relevance to life situations and immediate needs. C. Trainer's enthusiasm. D. Classroom environment. 34. Which communication barrier is most common in cross-generational workplace training? A. Physical distance. B. Different technology preferences and communication styles. C. Identical learning speeds. D. Shared workplace values. 35. When evaluating training program effectiveness, which Kirkpatrick level assesses actual behavior change on the job? A. Level 1 reaction. B. Level 2 learning. C. Level 3 behavior. D. Level 4 results.